Welcome back to some more League of Europe action tonight on F1 2021. This is Lobby 5's evaluation race around the Shanghai International Circuit in China. My name is Jess, and joining me in the commentary box tonight we got Sam Thompson. Sam, how you doing?
Hello everybody, hello Jess, good evening of course, and I'm doing alright actually. Maybe my eval race that I did a little bit earlier wasn't too great, if anyone watched that, but to be honest with you, it doesn't matter. We're here for some comms tonight, and we're here to enjoy ourselves. And around this China track and everything, it's going to be unpredictable. It's going to be It's been a long time since a lot of these drivers have driven around the Chinese Grand Prix circuit in Shanghai. So maybe a lot of unpredictability, and a new game as well. So that obviously adds to that unpredictability tonight.
Yeah, and there's some of these drivers that have never raced a 50% race on this game before as well. So it's really a test for the drivers as well. And basically, it's a chance for the drivers to show the directors what they're made of and to potentially place them in the tiers. It's not one of the things that they'll be deciding, not all the things they'll be deciding, there's other factors as well, but it just gives more of a thing to look at in terms of the pace of the drivers, as well as how they do in terms of racecraft. Some of these drivers are new to the league, they signed up quite recently, so some of the drivers, we don't know their pace, and China is definitely a test for that due to the amount of curbs and the different tyre strategies people could be going on as well. And there's quite good calibre drivers as well. Jasper, for example, did very well last season. I've been teammate every season with Cloudy Cloud, and Slayer actually won Division 5 last season as well, and he's in the lobby in the Red Bull. So I wonder if he's going to be up top tonight, or will we see a different face win the race?
Well, I think it's obviously going to be difficult because obviously, again, new game. Obviously, I'm going to keep referring to that point, but I think also a lot of this grid is mixed up full of Division 5 and Division 4 drivers from last season. People like Javs Surin is in here, United Bosnia, who I know from Division 4 as well. Bunch of Division 4 guys, a bunch of Division 5 guys. It's a bit of a mix. I'm not sure if there's any Division 3 guys in here, but I think it is between Division 4 and Division 5, so we could see a bit of a mixed bag here tonight, and yeah, unpredictability is probably the key to these evaluation races. It's, yeah, as you said, Jess, not many people have done many 50%, if not any 50% races, and this is probably their first one, and their first experience at China as well, since it isn't exactly the most popular track to start with, let's be honest.
No, it's kind of like a Marmite track. You either love it or you hate it. And I think from your experience and from my experiences in other games as well, I absolutely hate it, and especially on this game as well, due to some of the corners being under Series Central, to say the least as well. 5.4 kilometres long this track, and it has 16 turns, 7 to the left and 9 to the right. First used in Formula 1 back in 2004, and Michael Schumacher won that race. I think he won his last race here back in 2006, which was spectacular to watch as well. Times are starting to set in at the moment. 1:30.9 for MCR 2712. We got quite a mixed bag of people on the softs and the medium compounder tyres as well. And as I've seen from the other evaluation races earlier, some people went for a mixed strategy. I think majority of people did soft to hard, and some people did medium to hard, and there was quite a few that did hard to medium, but you won't be seeing soft to medium around there because the softs tend to last 7 laps, and a different tyre compound on this game compared to last. Last game it was C1, C2 and C3. On this game it's C2, C3 and C4, so the softs, I don't think they're going to last pretty much the 7 laps in optimum pace, so expect people to up their A game and just be more clever in terms of the strategy, I would say.
Yeah, I think obviously strategy will be quite important at this track. Of course, last game it was infamously known as one of the tracks where you would use the alternate strategy and get away with big things. It was some track which everyone liked to be outside the top 10, and whether that's the same for this game, we're not sure. Obviously, there has been a change to the handling model and the way the cars drive, and I think that will play a big part into whether this alternative strategy is also favourable this game compared to last game. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see a bunch of people testing it out here tonight in this evaluation race. But remember, it is an evaluation race, so the results don't matter seriously too much. What matters is how the drivers can drive here tonight, whether they can qualify and whether they can race properly. and what pace do they have in the race? Is it consistent? Is it inconsistent? No one really knows for these guys. It's just like a test race basically for all these guys to go through. And this isn't the only one either. I think there's like one or two more afterwards. There's another one at Abu Dhabi very soon, which I think is next week, but I'm not sure. I believe there was a third one, but I can't remember what track it was at. But I mean, all these drivers know what's at the stake. Obviously, the position, the tier they want to be in, is obviously what they're going to be vying for. And I mean, right now, there's a bit of differences in times right now with Haranog. I'm sorry if I pronounced that so wrong. At the top with a 30.4, and he's five tenths clear of second place. So he is the quickest, and he is the guy to beat at the moment.
Yeah, I was riding on board with Bag of Bones on his lap because he was one of the only ones on the lap, and he's had a bit of a spin in the curbs heading towards past turn 15, which is quite easy to do, of course. I was watching Lobby 4, and the whole time was a 1:29.7, and the whole grid up to 12th was separated by 1.1 seconds, but since it is a lobby full of new people and probably mixability from other divisions from last season to find out the pure pace, it may be less closer than we've seen in other lobbies tonight, but probably I feel say the top will be even closer. The top two, I think, is a big gap between first and second now, so it could change. It's Bago Bones set a lap time, but it's not representative, of course, on the medium tires. I'm sure majority of people would want to go onto the medium tires to do their laps, but it's not going to be as easy as the medium tires compared to the softs is 1.1 seconds slower. So yeah, it's going to be a coin toss as to what tyres they want to go for. Maybe they will do a Lewis Hamilton strategy, go on the softs to see what they feel like, and then slow down at the final corner just to make sure they get a lap in. I don't know, but for some of these drivers, it's just a learning experience, and it's a shame it's not on the calendar in real life, of course, due to COVID, but F1 2021 put it on the game anyway, because obviously I think it would have been on the calendar anyway, so we shall see what happens. And I think Marty is in third position, Major Falcon in fourth, Bosnia in fifth, and there's quite a few drivers are in the pits. I think I just saw Slumcon come across the line in seventh. 3 laps on the memes though. Interesting strat. Not what I would have gone for, being on 3 laps on the memes, but you don't get points in this race. It's how you, like you said, Sam, earlier, how you do well in qualifying and in terms of race pace.
Yeah, I think that's what these guys are going for, and I think this is a good way to obviously test out the strategy, whether these guys racing just LOE alone, or whether they race obviously in other leagues alongside, which may feature China on the calendar. Obviously for those drivers, they definitely will probably be playing a bit more of a strategic game, and try and find the best strategy they can nice and early on. But to be honest with you, I think obviously a lot of these drivers, they will be going for the quickest times they can possible, and I'm not surprised the medium tyres have been seen in this qualifying session, since obviously you want to know what the mediums feel like, because you're going to be on the hards inevitably at one point, unless you're doing a 2-stop really. So obviously these guys just want to feel for that harder tyre compared to the soft tyres. So not surprised to see people do some laps on the mediums, and I'm sure Slump and Jamie, they'll be feeling quite confident with their times on the medium tyres so far. And as I'm just watching Jav, he's just spun it into the wall at the exits of the spiral onto the long back straight. So his lap will be over. Poor McLaren driver will stay in 10th place for now.
Yeah, not the best for him, but at least he's got a lap time on the board. And yeah, I agree. Jamie and Con's laps on the mediums is probably better than what I could do around China, I have to say as well. And Ivor Brim Mike comes across the line in P2, and I have to say I'm quite shocked with his pace at the moment, as well as for those of you that don't know, he was I think slated quite a few times in some of the races last season. Didn't do a very good job, and we have a few stats from Mark, one of our commentators, who actually commentated on Lobby 4 just now, if you want to watch that back. And according to him, Ivor Brim might crash it a lot, but let's hope he doesn't do that tonight. One other thing to mention actually on this game as well, you could do that on the last few games. You can't do it on this game is the fuel mixture, because they banned it in real life due to the party mode that Mercedes were taking advantage of that, and they replicated that on the real life game as well. So if you do your qualifying lap on the standard mix, you'll have to commit to that for your flying lap on your in lap as well, and you also have to do that in the race. The only time you could change it is during a formation lap or during a safety car. There is no safety car turned on in this evaluation race because we are evaluating their pace, and it's a bit unfair if we do a safety car. So they can't really underfuel the car and expect a safety car, so they have to calculate their fuel a lot better this game compared to last game, and some drivers like me struggle with fuel management, so they have to really find different methods to save fuel, like lifting and coasting, or just make sure they put the right amount of fuel on the car depending on where they think they would place their car in terms of qualifying and the race.
Yeah, well, I think the fuel management this game has actually been very, very easy from my point of view. Anyway, I've done obviously a bunch of races now, from social races, and I've obviously witnessed some drivers as well. It does seem to me that the saving of fuel isn't too hard at all, and I'm sure these drivers probably have been they now know where to really put their fuel on for their races, because it's not too difficult to save them. But I do think obviously ERS management will be quite strong for obviously races now, and we've witnessed obviously in previous social races, we've witnessed them in other league races, well, if there has been any league races on this game, and obviously also in 5-lap lobbies with friends and everything. You've witnessed how important and how powerful, particularly on this straight, on the back straight of China, for example, how powerful ERS, DRS, and Slipstream is. Like, those three as a package, you're going to get past no matter what. So these drivers will know it, and they will know when to use it. And hopefully, it'll be the smartest guy that wins, alongside the fastest.
Yeah, and it'll also be the smartest guy that actually wins the championship, and we will know shortly as well who will be the Division 5 champion in how many weeks' time, probably heading up to Christmas. So, yeah, it's going to be a long season, but hopefully these drivers will stick at it, of course, as well, and obviously drivers race in other leagues as well. One thing remains unchanged, however, on this game is the ERS management, and you can... there's not many options anymore. You could change it up from medium to hot lapping qualifying, but in the race you only have one, medium and the overtake button. So at least they kept that on the last game. In my opinion, it made it a lot easier to focus on the race pace, and with the fuel management only being at standard in the race, that's one thing to stand on as well. And we noticed that in the few other races earlier on as well, you can get different types of damage as well as front wing damage. You can get rear wing damage now, you can get side pod damage. I think we saw one person in Division 4, I can't remember the name on the top of my head, who had massive floor damage, and he had to deal with it for the rest of the race. Diffuser damage, side pod damage, and floor damage, you can't repair it, unlike front wing damage. You have to cope with it for the rest of the race, and it could harm you a lot. So let's hope they have a clean turn one, I have to say. I'm trying to find someone that's on a lap, actually. So yeah, we're just on board with Joseph in the Alpine car. One of the beautiful cars that's made its debut in F1 2021, as well as the new Aston Martin. I wonder if there's going to be many fights as to who would pick the Aston Martin or the Alpine at this season in League of Europe. I'm sure in other leagues, other drivers will be suffering the same thing as well. So I think if people don't get one of those cars, they'll probably be disappointed then. As you head towards turn 13, I think you should brake just after the 100-metre border, clipping that left curb. If you go towards that right-hand curb, you probably will get an invalidation, and you'll probably end up in a spin, as probably quite a few people have experienced earlier on today. Then heading towards this back straight, this is where ERS and DRS is absolutely key. Let's see if his interaction time is good. It is perfect down this back straight as you head towards the hairpin of turn 14 then, clipping that right-hand curb as well. Luckily, Jamie just rejoined the session, so he's able to set his qualifying lap. Heading towards the final corner then. Careful that you do not invalidate here either. Oh, he's just gone into a spin there, and that's one of his best laps over as well. He was looking very good up until that point, and what a shame there, but very easy to do there in the final corner.
Yeah, it seems to be there's a lot of devils on this track that people seem to not like. I think obviously turn 1 is a big one through that corner. Of course, many people getting a lot of understeer through there. Of course, that whole section is very difficult. You've got to be very tedious on the throttle. Of course, you've got the left-hander into Sector 2, of course, as well. That should be flat out, but many people seem to struggle to get it through there. And obviously then you have the spiral onto the long straight as well. That seems to be a very popular one for spinners so far. And obviously the final corner as well. You take a bump to that yellow curb and everything and put it on the throttle, then you're gone. So there's a lot of corners at the moment that seem to be a bit of a struggle for drivers. And this isn't a very easy track, is it? Is China? It's quite a difficult track, very technical. And obviously the tyre temps as well, the tyres heat up quite quickly, you get a lot of tyre wear, and that obviously adds to the problems for the drivers on this track during their lap. And it does require a lot of concentration, doesn't it, this track? And it does also require quite a bit of, physical strength and everything through some corners, depending, obviously, if you are on the wheel. Obviously, if you're on the pad, it's probably a little bit more simplified for you, but on the wheel, of course, depending on your force feedback strength, this might be quite a difficult track. You might be sweating a bit quite easily from a few laps.
Yeah, I agree as well, and that's probably why the staff at LOE has chosen one of these tracks for the evaluation races, due to how technical it is for the drivers and how hard it is as well. As Jordan comes across the line, I believe that's his lap. He improves by about 4/100ths of a second to put himself into the top 10. Just a quick reminder, like usual, F1, the top 10 will have to start on the tyres that they set their fastest lap on in this qualifying session. So the whole of the top 10 will be on the softs at the moment. The only one on the mediums is in the Alpine car, Jamie. And like we said, 1.1 seconds is the difference between the softs and the mediums, and he's not going to improve. He's not going to make it out in time. So we'll just go on board with a few drivers as they come across the line. We've got Iberbryn Mike finishing his lap. We got a Red Bull as well finishing. And that's another McLaren into the wall, and he's not going to finish off his lap then. Slayer goes into the pit, so he can't improve either. And next across the line is a Haas car. Let me just see. It is Marty 1998 as he heads towards final corner. Looking good so far. I wonder if anyone's going to get into the 129s. Just avoiding Mike there. A bit of a slide there, but 131.0. I'm sure he would have gone even quicker as he invalidates in the turn one, but he would have not got a lap time anyway. We got Harry's coming across the line in P1 130.0. We're just riding on board with Bosnia now. Can he go any quicker? He has to find a second, so it's going to be a tall order. Comes across the line in 5th. Let's see who else we've got. We've got an Alfa Romeo and an Aston Martin coming across the line. I don't think the Aston... I think Energetic is going quicker. Yes, he is going quicker, but I doubt anyone's going to beat Harry. There's loads of cars on the centre of the road, which makes things difficult. P5 for the Alfa Romeo, pretty good for him. Jordan's in the pit, and that is it for qualifying. And Harry there beats Iberbryn Mike by 0.4 of a second and slots his car into pole position.
Yeah, dominant display from the Red Bull driver. What a final lap that must have been then, of course. And there's things about final qualifying laps, your heart is racing. That is either adrenaline or pressure, and obviously for the Greek driver in Harry Noag, I'm sorry again if I butchered that, it obviously was more of that adrenaline rush and less of that pressure perhaps. 4/10 clear in qualifying, that's a really, really good time, and he's got some good potential for this race as well. But I mean, as we do know, Jess, we do have a lot of quali merchants that tend to be lurking around some places, and is Harry one of them? Can he actually deliver in the race like he has in qualifying?
Yep, we will see as we just go run down our order. I was going to run through it verbally, but I don't think we're going to get it through in time. So the top 9 separated by a second, and then it goes down to 2 or 3 seconds. And it might be the ones that are not as good in qualifying, may be good in the race as well. They don't just judge on qualifying, they judge on the races too. I think, me personally, I do a lot better in the race in terms of qualifying, and it looks like it's going to be a dry race all the way around, which is pretty good for the drivers as well. I think it was dry pretty much for all the other races tonight as well, so at least we get an equal representation of what the drivers could be like, and it is clear for all the lobbies actually. I should have read the announcement. I should be paying attention to the Discord, Jess, as well. So a quick reminder of what the lobby settings are. So damage will be set to standard, fuel mode hard, clear weather, safety car off, formation lap on, collisions on, and ghostings on. So some of it is replicating what it's like in normal LOE. I think the only difference is obviously clear weather and safety car off. So I'm glad that there's going to be no rain, but for some people that like the rain, they're probably not going to like this race because of how hot it is. So we'll just wait and see what the other half of the grid go onto in terms of tyres. So let's have a look. All mediums except Jamie and DJ Williamson. Everybody else, Jamie and Williamson on the hards. Everyone else outside the top 10 on the mediums. And obviously the top 10, they qualified on the softs. So they'll be starting on the softs and will be pitting a lot earlier than the guys around them, Sam.
Yeah, of course. I think the soft tyre drivers will only be going for about 6 laps, of course. So that is obviously everyone in the top 10. No surprise, though, outside the top 10, everyone's either gone for a medium strategy or a hard strategy. It'll either be medium to hard or hard to medium, which do watch out for Jamie and DJ Williamson. They do show a bit of pace, any of those two. On those medium tyres at the end, they will probably be quite ruthless, considering everyone else is expected to be on the hard tyres. I don't think top is favourable here. I wonder if anyone will try and do a two-stop, though, do a soft medium to medium, because I do know for a fact that there is a big difference between the tyres and how good each tyre tends to be. The softs and the mediums, didn't you say there was like a 1.1 second difference, and then there was probably a bigger difference to that from the softs to the mediums to the hards. So, yeah, there's going to be a big difference between all tyres, and I wonder if that will play a strategy or play something in the back of the head of some of these guys, or whether they'll consider doing a two-stop from soft medium to medium.
I would like to see at least one driver try the soft medium, just for us in the commentary box, just to make things a little bit more interesting as well. Maybe Harry could be one of those drivers because he is quick. He was 4 tenths clear of Mike potentially as well, and if he could get away well, that could work wonders. But we will see, as we won't know what the drivers do until obviously they go into the pits. If they pit slightly earlier, then there's no way they're going to go onto the hard compounded tyres. But if they pit around about the lap 7 mark, then they will go onto the hards. And between the softs and the hards, 1.863 seconds is the difference between the softs and the hards. 8 tenths loss compared to what it was last game. So, yeah, they'll be losing so much more seconds and tenths a lap compared to what it was in F1 2020. So China, a lot harder for the drivers to cope with on this game, but they have to make the most of it because this is what sets them apart, the crowd. Some of them may want to be in the higher division, and it's up to the drivers to prove to the LOE staff that they deserve it, and this is the race to do it. As we're just waiting, I believe, for Williamson to make it into their grid slot, which does take a lot longer on this game than previous games. But anyway, the 5 red lights are coming on. Harry on pole, Mike alongside, and we're underway. A pretty even start from both the drivers, but Harry gets away much better. 2 McLarens running alongside a Mercedes driver as well. MCR going side by side, heading towards turn 2. And Mike as well. Let's see if everyone makes their way into turn 1 cleanly. I think everyone has made it away so far, but it looks like Jab has dropped a little bit from MCR, which is not good. I'm surprised with how clean up. There's contact at the back. I didn't see who it was there, but looks like Williamson has had a bit of a spin there. Quite unfortunate there, but everyone else, I would say, from 10th downwards has got away unscathed.
Yeah, towards the back, there's been a little bit of sloppiness, but that's just about it. And yes, as you said, Jess, everyone seems to have got away quite strongly in this race. A few of the soft tyre drivers having a little bit of a struggle from the start. There goes Joseph, he's gone round. Him and DJ Williamson haven't had the start they would have wanted. Someone who's had the start he would have wanted, though.
Joseph and Williamson made contact heading towards turn 7. So,
okay,
commentators curse for already, and we haven't even started the season yet, Sam. And and we've had another spin out. I think it was the infamous turn 13, like you were saying earlier, Sam, has caught victim to one driver, and we're not able to tell if they've got any worse damage other than front wing damage. Unfortunately, no safety cars though, so they're gonna lose so much more time. As luckily we haven't had any timing tower glitches at the moment, so. That is all good, and Harry already showing his pace up at the front. We are getting a timing glitch. Oh my god. I shouldn't have said anything more.
I was hopeful, Jess. I was hopeful we were not going to get it. I was hopeful it was actually fixed because that was the first time I've seen it in a long time and not have the timing glitch through lap 1. And I thought I was so hopeful it would sort itself out, but no, it's decided to say, yeah, you know, you can dream on, right? That's what they've said to us, but no, Harry still leads though. He's had a brilliant start, the start he would have wanted, got away from either Bryn Mike and the guys behind him. I think the two McLarens have had a good start, split with the Mercedes. Not much going on in terms of action, but they are getting closer to each other and do expect overtakes as soon as the DRS comes.
Yeah, I think the one that did better on the medium tyres, I think, was Slum Con up in 11th place on our screen, but I believe it's about 6th or 7th place once the timing tower decides to fix itself. And we're not on lap 3, by the way, guys. We're on lap 2. So DRS is not enabled, but luckily does not show it on this game because it knows it's not on. But anyway, we've got Energetics trying to get a move past Jab into this back straight, and you can see the straight line speed from Energetics a lot better than Jab right now. You move up into 4th place, but look at that, Jab with the switchback into the hairpin at turn 14 and 15, and Harry's out the race. What's happened there?
Oh, I have no clue what's happened there. Yeah, I'm not sure. I wonder if he... Right, I tell you what I think has happened here. I think he's done what many people have done before. He's hit that curb on the outside of the exit of the hairpin there, and what he's done is it's caused him to go into a spin. It's so unfortunate for Harry. He's had a brilliant start to the race as well, and you know that's obviously ruined his race completely. He's out of the race, but I mean, to be honest with you, he has impressed so far for the LOE admins and everything. They would be pleased, but at least to see a little bit of action from him, I suppose, but probably not what Harry would have wanted in terms of momentum, since he was leading this race and he was looking fairly comfortable as well. But now looking at the new leader, Ivor Bryn Mike, he looks comfortable as well. 2 seconds clear already of MCR, and you know what? DRS trains and everything, they will screw over a driver, so we could be looking at McLaren 1-2 very soon.
Yeah, and one other thing I think to mention as well about this game as well is the dirty air is still a thing around China, especially with the close proximity of the cars. If you get close to a driver and you end up spinning, that's probably why, as we saw Joseph also retiring from the session, but we quite understand why he has done so as well. Jab did a lovely switchback actually towards turn 15, and he looks like he's going to make another move on MCR 2712. Jab is absolutely flying now on the softs as someone has gone off almost, and this is so close between these top 3 drivers, and Ivor Bryn Mike's just running away with it. Jab is playing the perfect team game right now, trying to climb his way up the order. We got Energetics right on the back of this. This is insane racing. We got Slayer as well, but let's watch the battle at the front. MCR versus Jab. MCR just about holds on to Jab, but look at this, Jab with the better run, heading towards turn 2 and 3. Is he going to get the send the dreams? Yes, he does. Look about Energetics though. This is not giving up without a fight here. MCR has got to put everything on the table. Past turn 5, this little kink here, heading towards turn 6. Could he get into P3? Just about, my oh my. This is insane, and I have to say, loving every minute of it. This is Lobby 5, but with the way these drivers are racing, it's more like Lobby 4 more than Lobby 5.
Yeah, well, brilliant race from all 3 of them, and you know the reason why I was saying, like, you know, at the end of the hairpin, Energetic tried to get the move on both MCR and Jav at the time, which would have been an insane move if he pulled it off, and he almost did. I thought he wasn't going to make the corner, but he did it, and you know, insanely, he almost got 2nd place, and he's almost getting 2nd place here. I can't see Javs defending against him. Watch out for MCR though; he may attempt to get a comeback on Jav as well. There's a long straight here. Energetic has him for 2nd place. I don't think Jav will get that back. Will MCR be able to catch up enough? I don't believe so, and he will slot in behind and stay in that 4th place, but down the inside goes Slayer. Anyway, just behind with the Aston Martin. That may have cost it though, because now Slayer and Bosnia going side by side, but Bosnia will just have to sit behind as well, and Jav already pitting early on lap 5, which I wonder if this is the 2-stop strategy, Jess, that we were talking about potentially.
I think it's got to be a 2-stop, Sam. I think I could see it's the hard compounded tyres. It's a lot earlier than I thought. It lasts 24 laps, so it can do it. And I'm just trying to look at my notes that I've written. The Haas could go from lap 7 onwards, so he has to do some massive saving in order to get to the end. I mean, I hope he was looking at his data before the race, because that is a big gamble, I have to say, but he's probably got the buffer, so he's probably going to do it anyway. I wonder if anyone else is going to respond to that. I think Jamie's still in AI mode, so he's got past, the AI has got past Jazz, but I don't know what the AI setting is on this game as well. Major Falcon has made quite a few positions as well. Let's have a look at the position changes so far. Pretty much everyone except MCR has gained positions on since lap 1 from about 1st down to 12. So that just goes to show how many battles have been happening around this track in this lobby tonight so far. And I wonder if Major Falcon is under pressure from United Bosnia in this race so far. 2 Mercedes-powered cars, but I'm sure Bosnia wanted to be the better of the Mercedes-powered cars as well. A little bit late on the brakes there. Ever so close so far, but again, just this DRS train is just growing and growing. Don't forget our D5 champion is on the back of this train as well.
Jav.
Oh, Jav has had a bit of a moment by looks of things as well. Yep, turn 13 once again, and the advantage that Jav had by going into the pits early is wiped off. And it looks like we're due to Jav pitting. Either been like Major Falcon and MCR has gone into the pits. I don't think they had to, considering with Jav spinning, but they did not know that Jav spun, so they had to respond anyway, didn't they?
Well, maybe it's to cover off Bag of Bones. I don't think obviously those two would get out, but interestingly, Bag of Bones, DJ Williamson, they actually did opt for the medium, soft medium strategy. I don't actually think DJ Williamson is here. So maybe we'll count him out. But Bag of Bones is going for the soft medium strategy, which could be fairly interesting in this race. But he is not in this battle with the lead guys at the moment. Evil Bryn Mike is pretty clear at the moment. He's now 5 seconds clear. Something must have happened to MCR then to trigger that then. Maybe he's had a little bit of a moment on the exit through turn 1 where he's kind of slid sideways and it's lost him a bulk of time. But I say that, but Major Falcon's also lost a lot of time. So how Evil Bryn Mike is so far clear, I'm not too sure at the moment. But I guess we may find out once Energetic comes into the pits, as he is our best reference.
Yeah, we got a battle for P2 on the track then, as Bosnia's lost 2 positions, as 2 of the Red Bulls were working together very nicely as well, as Bosnia tries to cover off Slumcon, but he did not do that. Oh no! Bosnia's gone off, made a bit of contact there from one of the Red Bulls, and I think we're just about to see that the medium tyres are definitely the best tyres to be on right now. That is why Slumcon is even quicker. He can stay out for a bit longer from around about lap 12, lap 13, and Bosnia unfortunately will have to pit, but he probably would have pitted then anyway, so it did not matter for him. So onto the Haas he goes. It'll be interesting to see if he got any more damage other than from wing damage. We won't know unless the drivers communicate to us on Discord or through the live stream chat, as well as Slayer comes out very close to Major Falcon actually, so he's had a good pit stop as well. I wonder if Red Bull were listening to us in terms of record pit stops, because I believe this is the first race this weekend in real life where the record pit stops won't be made, but on this game obviously they cannot change that, so I don't think we will see 1.9 pit stops in league races. We do it in career mode actually, which a few people get blown away, but yeah, I've been very impressed with Ivor Bryn Mike's pace at the moment. I'm not going to say too much actually, because I jinxed Harry earlier and that didn't go well, as Jav unfortunately has retired from the session.
There goes Slump.
And there goes Slumpcon as well. Same corner again. It's just, it doesn't like any drivers I've been tonight, I would have to say. I've seen it in Division 4 as well tonight, where people lose in turn 13. So I'm guessing early on the power potentially as well, which catches a few drivers out. So he hasn't lost that much time, but he's going to probably be at a disadvantage to all the other medium runners, as Jordan is the medium runner at the moment. As we saw another spinner, it is an Aston Martin actually. It's not Jordan, it is Major Falcon, I believe. No, because I can't tell who spun. It is Jordan who spun, unfortunately.
Yeah, it seems to be there's a lot of eagerness at that corner at the exit to get onto the throttle, and that's obviously probably causing them to end up spinning, and people just getting caught out a little bit. Thinking of someone being caught out, Marty has had a spin at the exit, the hairpin. I wonder again if that was to do with obviously what happened to Harry as well. And he's got to come into the pit, so his race basically tonight is over. But again, pace is going to be important for tonight. It's not exactly about the result too much, but if you show good pace, it should be fine. But Mike now is clear a cloudy cloud, which was someone he needed to really get by. And this is going to be interesting for MCL, whether he's going to follow in suit or whether it's going to be a bit more difficult for him with the AlphaTauri. I'm not exactly sure where either Bryn Mike made his move, but he still seems pretty clear of his competition for now, but still some battles probably going on behind. Energetic and Major Falcon are the two that's quite close, and well, Slayer has actually closed in quite considerably to these two guys in front as well.
Yeah, that could be interesting as well, and I think the league admins about we will also be looking at lap times as well. If you're able to show consistent lap times on the set of tyres that you're on in your stint, and you're doing it pretty much almost every lap, then that shows you have good race pace. But if you could go even faster some laps as well and keep it that way, that's also a major sign as well, as Energetic is looking to continue off where he left off on the soft stint as well, as Major Falcon is probably under pressure from Slayer behind as well. Slayer is Division 5 champion last season for a reason, and he's quick. Even though he didn't have the best of qualifying, he's on the hard compounded tyres, and he wants to be one of the fastest guys out there. As Ivor Bryn Mike has spun. It looks like we've got a leader curse, unfortunately. Howie's had a bit of an issue earlier on, and now it's Ivor Bryn Mike as well. I think we should just stop talking about the leaders. I think one of the races I think in real life days happened. I think it was around the 1980s where the leaders kept changing in Monaco, and as well as 1996, Energetics also spun as well. So that would have been our net race leader if it wasn't Ivor Bryn Mike, I don't think. So now our net race leader is MCR, and yeah, unfortunate for Ivor Bryn Mike, as he was running so well. Hopefully he can come back from this, because this is very, very important for him now.
Yeah, of course. I think for him, it's going to be a very interesting race ahead now. Since he's got to play the catch-up game. It's usually these guys that's playing the catch-up game. But we will have to obviously see how Mike plays that game. And we've seen another retirement, Jess. It's actually this time the Alpine of Jamie. And I think also there's an Aston Martin of Jordan. So everyone has had a big moment at that corner at this point, and everyone's had a little bit of a spin. So this is a little bit of an inconsiderate track, but there is a battle going on right now. Major Falcon versus Slayer. Slayer to the outside then. Has he got this move done nice and easy past Major Falcon? So he's got a bit deep there, but I don't think Major Falcon can get the move just there. But talk about Mike. Has he got some sort of damage or something? Because he's actually falling back from these guys, and yes, he must have, because he's coming into the pits. So his race is completely destroyed. There goes the Aston Martin of Jordan again, who spun for the second time now.
Same pace as well.
Yeah, I don't think, though, I don't think this battle is over between Major Falcon and Slayer. I think these two are going to go for quite a while now.
Yeah, and this is what we like to see in evaluation races as well. And if it's what it's going to be like in the actual season, then the drivers, the commentators, and the viewers at home will be in for a real treat, I have to say as well. I'm almost certain Slayer and Falcon, if they keep this up, they'll be in the same tier, and they'll be in, I think, a rivalry to watch, I think, for many races to come. So this is not going to be the last any of us sees between these two as well, because they've been pretty much on pace so far. I think Slayer has the upper hand right now because A, he's in front, and B, he's on the fresher tyres compared to Major Falcon behind as well. So he's able to push a little bit more on the final lap too, which will benefit him ever so slightly as well. And I'm seeing United Bosnia as well, even though he had a bit of an off as well. He would benefit as well from the extra few laps that he has on his hard tyres. He had damage early, so he had to pit quite early, but at least he's still on the same strategy as most people. Iberbit Mike has gone into the pits, and Bosnia is doing a Valtteri Bottas there, and is going to the grass around past turn 13 again then. Here comes a Slumpcon onto the back of Jasper, and he got past him into turn 1. He's looking quite comfortable on these mediums right now. I think there's some drivers who haven't had a spin yet, touch wood, and let's hope they can keep it that way as well. For the rest of this race, and I think Jasper's still catching up. Another retirement, and I think that was Martin 1998. Jordan goes into the pit. I believe he's going on to some hard compounded tyres. Yes, he does. A few laps earlier than planned, but at least he could do that because we know hards could make it to the end from here. They can pit from around about lap 7. Mike's on fresher mediums though. They can get to the end potentially, but it's going to be quite difficult. But you never know what could happen. There could be more retirements and Mike could be back into this race, but I'm almost certain Mike will definitely not win now, which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah, I think obviously mistakes have cost him this race win, obviously, and I think this costs a lot of these drivers some good positions. Of course, I tell you someone who is potentially in a good position, and that is Jarbo right now. I don't think he's on for any race wins at the moment, because he will have to transfer onto the hard tyres at the same time as these guys. But watch out for him towards the end of the race, because he will have fresher tyres, and with these hard tyres being probably towards the end of their life, come the end of the race, I think Jarbo's will not. Although I say that, but he comes into the pits fairly early to fit on to the hard tyres, so I could be wrong about that about Jarbo, and I'm kind of debating what his exact strategy was there.
Yeah, I would say so as well. I'm surprised some people are going onto the hards a little bit earlier than planned. I thought they would have pit a lap later, but again, they're covering probably for the undercut, which is quite powerful on this game. So we'll see what he does as well. He comes across the line into 7th then. So that is, I think, a good strategy for him then. And he's got 3.5 seconds buffer to Major Falcon, which could decide pretty much make or break Jarbo's race as well. He could be on for maybe 5th place, maybe even a podium as well, because don't forget Cloudy Cloud still has to box too. Maybe him not pitting now probably was not the icing on the cake for him, so he's probably going to think about boxing now. So he's probably thinking, hang on, I should have pitted potentially now, but we'll see, of course. Let us know in the chat who you think has done well so far. Who do you think should win this race? There's other lobbies as well happening as well as this one. We've got lobby 2 and lobby, I'm thinking it's lobby 6, I believe, as well. Yes, lobby 6 is going on at the same time as well. So Slumpcon is leading this race with Jasper in 2nd. Don't forget they do need to box, but I'm almost certain they're going to come into the pits this lap because the mediums are pretty much near their sell-by date at the moment, and if they go a bit longer than that, there's no way they're going to make it, and that will push MCR to the lead of this race on track in a few laps' time. Connor stays out, so does Jasper then. I'm guessing they want to have fresh hards compared to their nearest rivals, but they're going to lose a chunk of time to the guys that just paired, like Jabbo, for example. Jabbo could be on for some good points here.
Yeah, well, obviously there's no points available, so it would have been obviously points if there was points available, but he's had a relevantly decent race, and you know what, he's catching Major Falcon fairly quickly, which this will be a battle for the podium come the end of the race, because Jasper and Slump are still yet to pit, and they will still be miles behind Jarbo. They were miles behind Jarbo when Jarbo pitted, and Jarbo obviously is catching them, so even more now. So Jarbo's on for quite a strong result here, is the Ferrari driver there, and he's closing on to Major Falcon, so maybe a podium could be in the lines for him, and maybe possibly in a couple of laps we could see another entertaining battle.
Yeah, I think so as well. Maybe he's saving a little bit of tyre life now so he can make sure that he can get to the end, and obviously the fuel load is going to be important as well, so let's hope he saved enough fuel to be able to push to the end too. And 1.9 seconds, 1.8, the gap is closing a little bit, so he's going to be within this battle between Major Falcon and maybe Slayer as well, but Slayer is ever much quicker than Major Falcon at this moment in time. Falcon is just struggling just a little bit, so let's see what our top two do on the medium tyres. Connor decides enough is enough. He goes into the pits. Jasper, he's got to respond now surely, because otherwise he's going to lose so much time. Yes, he comes in as well, so I believe that's everybody that's meant to stop has stopped. and this is going to be a very good battle until the end of this race. I think Williamson will probably have to pit again, because there's no way those mediums will get to the end, but apart from that, it's just pretty much a sprint to the end for most of these guys. Bag of Bones may go onto the softs at the end as well, put on the fastest lap as well. Even though points don't mean anything in these evaluation races, you probably will want to get a bit of glory anyway, as Bag of Bones moves up into P6 and is just ahead of Connor, which is good as well, but Connor will be ahead of Bag of Bones when Bag of Bones heads into the pit stops as well. Nearest battle, I have to say, is between Bag of Bones, Energetic, and Connor as well. So Energetic will just have to hold on for maybe a few more laps and see if he could defend for his life here as well. And if he could show that he could defend very, very well, this could be put in very good stead in terms of his placement for this season on F1 2021.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Bag of Bones right now, he's had a decent race, I think. Obviously, so far, he still has to pit again, since he won't make those mediums to the end. Maybe he's doing soft, medium, medium like we suggested. Maybe he's going to do a soft, medium, soft. But as we've seen with Jarbo, we've seen how powerful fresh tyres can be. But what about fresh tyres on the softer compound? That'd be better, but I mean that penalty probably hasn't played into his hands too correctly though. But is he going to go for a move on Energetic? Get Energetic move more towards the outside here. Is he going to defend again? No, he's not. Bag of Bones tries to go down the inside on those old mediums now, so those mediums are not definitely in the best of shape, but he seems to get the position there, and this is going to be difficult, side by side, and he is still going to stay out as well, and he's got him around the outside, so beautiful from Bag of Bones, and you know what, he's got that DRS as well, but Energetic is going to come back, but it does not matter. Here comes Slump coming past him now, so Energetic losing 2 positions cruelly there. He's still in this fight, you know, with Slump alongside him, but I do reckon Slump on those fresher hard tyres will be able to outpace him and outgrip Energetic. Although I say that, Energetic does come out slightly ahead, but Slump still right behind. Is he going to send it here? No, he's not. He's going to sit back, but actually, I thought for a moment that was just Slump just giving up, but no, I think Energetic completely missed his braking point, and you know what? I must have gave Bag of Bones an absolute heart attack right there, when he saw that arrow behind him just turn red immediately. So Bag of Bones probably a little bit shooken, but he's got a lot of free air now, and I think he won't be too much hassled by Slump behind.
They gave Bag of Bones a heart attack. I think they gave me and Sam a heart attack in the commentary box as well. My heart just went up. My heart rate just went up after seeing what happened to Energetic. Jesus, but he's lost a bit of time now, which is not good, but let's hope he could go back into this race. And I am seeing a yellow warning light of fuel on his dashboard, which is not good, and he's also put in the chat whilst he's in the pits that he thinks his fuel isn't going to make it to the end, and that's not a good sign if you're in that Alfa Romeo car. So he's got to think of many tactics to try and save. I was jeffing someone earlier who was in a similar position, and how we managed to save his fuel was he was able to lift and coast through certain corners, maybe through the back straight as well if you have a good gap, maybe also into turn 1 as well. And you can see, I think Energetic probably be doing that as well, but if I were you, to save a bit of fuel here, lifting and coasting will probably have to be the best option, because otherwise he won't make it to the end, and he'll probably drop out of the points if there was points available, obviously, in this race, which is not. This is just an evaluation race to test the driver's pace as well. I'm just seeing if everybody else is in danger of running out of fuel. No, but it looks like Energetic's the only driver out of the 13 drivers running that's in danger of not having their fuel load at the moment, making it into the end of the race. So, yeah, things are just not going their way right now for Energetic after a very good start to the race for him.
Yeah, it's not a very good rate. As Jarbo makes a move around the outside of Major Falcon. Sorry, I was a bit caught up with something there. Something just, I don't know. But anyway, Major Falcon loses the position there, and I think now Jarbo is going to be feeling very confident now, as he will look to close up to the leaders. But Slayer right now, he's closed up quite a bit to MCR, you know. I think he will potentially have a go at MCR towards the end of this race, and it is a bit of an interesting one, these two out in front. It has seemed to see the gap close a little bit. Whether it's closed enough to significantly cause a charge towards the end, I'm not entirely sure. Of course, there is this battle between Slump and Bag of Bones, but like I've mentioned, I do think Bag of Bones is going to be fine for now, although I say that Slump does seem to be getting a little bit closer, and that is a bit wide there for Bag of Bones. He's definitely missed the apex there, and Slump has definitely improved from that. How about the exit of these corners? Is Slump on for a good position? No, he's not. He's just going to sit behind again. He's going to use a bit of ERS, so maybe a dive is on for him, and yes, he does. He looks towards the inside. Space is given for Bag of Bones, but Slump not able to get the move done, and that's cost him quite a bit more time, which he didn't need to lose.
Yeah, but as well, and don't forget that there's a few drivers that still need to pit as well, and Bag of Bones is one of them, so maybe he's unnecessarily fighting as well. You got to pick your battles as well, because I think dealing with traffic, which are on different strategies, is another key factor in league racing, you know, as well. You got to know what to do as well. If I was in Bag of Bones' position, I would probably lose more time if I'm holding up the car behind as well, because of maybe the dirty air you get in from behind too. So Bag of Bones, if I was him, maybe pitting in the next few laps would be the best option. Maybe he's saving up a little bit so he can go onto the soft tyres, but that can only go from lap 20. So here comes Connor on those fresher hard tyres, and I think that's going to be an easy slam dunk move for Slump then, as he makes his way up into 5th position right now. And Bag of Bones is still fighting, you know, he's not giving up, and Bag of Bones must have been watching the stream or something as he goes into the pits, and I'm a bit intrigued. He's probably going to make the same mistake as I did in a league race on F1 2019, where he's going for the softs very, very early, that they're not going to make it to the end. Softs only last 7 laps, and the tyre temperatures are through the roof. No, but he's not going on the softs, luckily. He's on to the mediums, which definitely make it to the end, and we'll see if he goes on the fastest lap, and Ivy Brim Mike is makes his way up to P8 because of that as well. And as we were saying earlier, Sam, Jabbo is on course for a podium. He is on the podium position as well, but Falcon is catching up behind. This is going to be an interesting fight now. I don't think Jabbo is going to catch up to Slayer, but Jabbo and Falcon's last few laps of this race could get very, very interesting.
Yeah, I think Falcon, it could be interesting for Falcon at the moment with Jabbo. He's sitting behind him, 8 tenths behind. I don't believe, though, Falcon would be able to close into Jabbo. He'd have to show some quite immense pace if he was to keep with the Ferrari right now. Because of those fresher tyres that Jabbo has, it's much better for him. Slump may actually be looking at potentially a charge on Major Falcon, more or less, but that DRS is definitely favouring Major Falcon to keep where he is. And look at Slayer, though. Look again. He is closing in just outside of that DRS of MCR. He's closed into that cruising Mercedes right now, and that Mercedes may need to start considering about picking up the pace a little bit, because this Red Bull, it is coming, and it is coming fast.
Yep, Slayer, he is showing why he is the Division 5 champion from last season on F1 2020, and he's looking for himself to be maybe put in a higher division. Maybe he wants to be in the same division as last season, so he can defend his Division 5 title, as Ivor Brim Mike has unfortunately retired from the session, and that's in the hairpin between turn 14 and 15. Let's go on board with Energetic and see if we can catch his car. Unfortunately, the camera... Oh, that's a weird place to bin a car, not gonna lie. I think he must just hit the curb and gone into the wall there. So that is Ivor Brim Mike's race over, and Mark saying that Mike crashes a lot, and I think that's another race where he did crash, which is a bit of a shame. I shouldn't have mentioned that on the stream. And anyway, but MCR's been leading for most of this race. Slayer had a bit of a tank snapper heading past turn 13, so we'll see if he can catch up. He's in within DRS range then, but not quite close enough. Maybe next lap he can get him as well, but I have to say, I think Slayer has been saving up his energy, and maybe I was going to say engine mode, but obviously you can't change engine mode on this game. You can only leave it in standard mode as well. So I wonder what steps he'll be taking to make sure that he can have the slightest edge on the Mercedes driver as well. And another driver to be watching as well is Cloudy Cloud, on closing up to his teammate in the AlphaTauri of Jasper as well. So 2 battles to watch out for, and potentially positions to be gained on the final 9 or 8 laps of this race then, which could make a difference.
Yeah, and of course, so the one thing that Slayer has to advantage is he will put the pressure on MCR. I have noticed in the previous lap, MCR was feeling the pressure a lot. He was sliding the car around. He was being quite cautious, quite aggressive in corners, and struggling with a bit of understeer. Where, of course, at turn 13, he went a little bit wider as well, which cost him a bit of time, but luckily Slayer had a bit of trouble. But now Slayer looks much closer now to MCR. MCR probably starting to feel the pressure a bit more now. 7 tenths between them. We'll have to see at the exit of turn 13 whether they can make a move. But Slayer, he is getting closer to that Mercedes lap by lap, but dirty air does exist and it costs you so much time. Look at that, at the exit of turn 13, almost a 10th loss from Slayer, which may have cost him an opportunity to take the lead of this race. He will battle it though. He's getting closer to MCR. Can he go for the move down the inside here, or is he going to sit back? He's of course going to sit back. It would have been an absolute miracle if he made the corner and the move there. So Slayer really on the hunt, and he's on the hunt for MCR at the moment.
I think it's no! I was about to say the DRS could play a massive factor, but final corner, Slayer is into the wall, a bit of a tank clapper, and he's out of this race. Our D5 champion from last season. This was a big upset. If it was a real league race for LOE, that would have definitely been a safety car. But safety car is turned off, so the drivers have to deal with it, and that is heartbreaking for Slayer, who looked like he was going to take the win from MCR and been battling lap after lap until the end, but that just mistake again. Power, traction, that is the key factor on this game. You can't just go on the throttle after you've been on the brakes and onto the straight. You've got to basically trail brake and monitor the throttle as you go into the corner in order to do this as well. That is something I need to learn on this game as well. Even with full traction is hard as well. So yeah, unfortunate for Slayer, and hopefully the admins see what he could do before that incident happened, and that hopefully did not play any effect. But he has another chance next week or the week after, whenever the drivers race next in Abu Dhabi. I believe there's another race, evaluation race next week, so Slayer will have another chance. But that means Jabbo, who was on the alternate strategy, is up for P2. Who would have thought it? Amazing stuff from him. And also Falcon is on for P3 as well, with Connor right behind him.
Yeah, Jabbo's had an amazing race this race, and I said about Slump Con as well. I said about how he will close that gap to Falcon in a couple of laps, and that has just happened here. He's absolutely loving life on those new hard tyres compared to Falcon, who may be starting to struggle on those old hards now. He's been on them for a long time compared to Slump Con, and this is exactly where these hard tyres are starting to come to play for Slump Con now, and Jabbo as well. But Jabbo, unfortunately, is way behind MCR, who looks like he's going to, in the end, he's going to take a stress-free victory as long as he can keep it on track, which we've seen so far. A lot of drivers, they've made costly mistakes, and, well, could we be in for one more spin?
Let's hope not, Sam. But I think if we're going to have a spin, it's probably going to be in the corners that we talked about earlier on as well. And we've seen it many times in certain drivers where they've just been running so well, and then a mistake costs them. That's what happened on this game as well, and that is a bit of a shame with Slayer and the other guys that are retired already. We're on 11 runners in Lobby 5 at the moment, and the ones that are still racing, if it was LOE points from last season, every single driver would be in the points, because I believe the top 12 did score points last season. So well done to every single driver that would have scored points. But it's not a league race, it is about a racing race. But at least it gives everyone some sort of momentum as well. As look at this, Connor with a beautiful straight line speed. He's going to get Falcon on this lap way before the hairpin, actually, of turn 14. And I think Slum is a little bit more comfortable compared to the Aston Martin driver as they head towards turn 13. But look at this, Falcon trying to get the switch back. Can he do it? No, he can't. As we head towards turn 16, as this could be the battle of the podium that we're talking about as well. Cloudy Clouds also having a battle with Jasper as well behind. This could be very interesting too, but it looks like Jasper is staying ahead too. Jordan could be on for a battle with Energetic as well. They were battling near the front at one point, but those two had a spin at different parts of the circuit for different reasons, and then been having to pick up the pieces. But at least they're having a battle, and at least they're going to have fun and show the admins their true pace and ability to have some racecraft. Meanwhile, Bosnia looks like he's going to go for the move past Jordan. Then they were battling earlier on as well. Could this be very clean here? They are going to try and leave as much space as they possibly can. One of the drivers going a little bit wide then. Could Bosnia fight back? Jordan on the right, Bosnia on the left, heading towards the final corner. Bosnia just stays ahead of Jordan there as well. Bosnia has the advantage as well with the ERS, 70% compared to Jordan's 3%. But Jordan's on the cut back. Let's see if Jordan does not turn in. And Jasper is out the race. I think they must have had it coming together with Cloudy Cloud. I did not see what happened there.
Yeah, I didn't see that either, really, to be honest. I don't even know where he's gone off, to be honest. Oh, there we go. We found out where he's gone off. He's gone off for that right hand. Possibly a little bit of contact between the two of them. Possibly also a little bit of a spin moment, but interesting place to spin overall. But what I was oohing about was really this battle between Bosnia and Jordan. Jordan obviously went by, but Bosnia went for the switchback through turn one, and Jordan almost cut him off completely, and luckily Bosnia did break out the way, but those tyres are clear of those hard tyres. Those mediums are much clearer, and Bosnia, he'll be looking to chase down Energetic nice and easily now on those fresh medium tyres, as they have probably got up to temperature now.
Yeah, definitely as well, and I think obviously the hards could last about 21 laps around this track as well. Jordan, I think, being a little bit more comfortable, whereas Bosnia on the mediums, I think, is finding it a lot better than Jordan, and he's already pulling away, and he could catch up to Energetic anytime soon as well, and that could be a great battle on our hands too. I think the other battle seems to have died down a little bit, which is a bit of a shame at the moment, but the battle with the AlphaTauri could have been a nice one towards the end of this race, but unfortunately it was cut short. Maybe in Abu Dhabi they can have a second chance of the apple, as it were, to see if they can gain some more positions and see if they could prove why they deserve to be in a higher tier or in the same tier potentially as well, because potentially we could have 6 divisions this season in LOE, which I have to say, compared to 5 divisions last season, that is absolutely insane, and that's a credit to the hard work that all the admins have been doing to get this season together. So thank you to all of those as well. Don't forget you could follow League of Europe on Twitter as well. And I need to actually get the Twitter handle. It is at League of Europe if you want to find out more about the season. And make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn notifications on and press that thumbs up button as well. We're almost on 700 subscribers. So if you haven't already, please click that subscribe button, because we've still got some battles to watch out for with a few laps to go. Can Bosnia get past Energetic in the final few laps? There's still only 2 drivers with penalties. Everyone else is managed to stay penalty free, which is great to see, but that probably won't affect some of the drivers. We don't know how many penalties people have got. Let's just check. Major Falcon on 3 seconds, Bag of Bones on 6 seconds. So yeah, I don't think it's going to affect the drivers behind them. So in a way, the positions are not going to change unless if you're Bosnia or Energetic trying to go or defend for moves.
Yeah, and Bosnia are obviously closing in on those fresh medium tyres. And Energetic there, getting all scruffy of the exit. He hasn't got into the barrier like predecessors before him, but luckily keeps the car running. And there we go. He has spun this time. That's him out of the race. And, you know, it was second time unlucky, I suppose. Not second time lucky there, but it was first time lucky and second time just wasn't the charm, was it? For Energetic, and that is him out of the race. And now we're down to 9 drivers, and theoretically 8, because Williamson isn't even here. He would have got points anyway if he finished the race, which sounds beyond belief for someone who's probably rage quitted in the end. But he will get points in this race, and Energetic is another victim to one of the corners of the track. It's been either turn 13, turn 14 on the exit, or it's been that last corner, which has been the main victim of each driver. But I think obviously there's been a few others, hasn't there, through Sector 2, through the S's, where one of the AlphaTauri went. So yeah, there's been a lot of places where this track has caused a lot of trouble for drivers. So yeah, hopefully no more spinners in the next 2 laps.
Touch wood.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, if we do have another spinner, please don't let it be MCR. He has drove a clean race all race long, and he looks comfortable to set his victory out. But mind you, what a story it would be for Jarbo, of course, outside the top 10, not probably the best of qualifiers for the Ferrari driver, and then going on to win. But a podium is still very, very good, in my opinion, for that Ferrari driver, and I think he'll be very happy with his performance tonight.
You said it now about the top two. Well, let's just hope they don't spin now. If they spin now, it's your fault, Sam. Anyway, 2 more laps to go of this race very, very soon as MCR is about to start lap 27. And all that would have almost been a spin for Jabo, but he just about saved that slide past turn 13 now. And I've just seen what Energetic put in the chat. He was focusing on the fuel and not really much on the track, and that's what caused him to spin, unfortunately. And that's very hard to do when you're focusing on saving your fuel and racing at the same time. So what a shame, Energetic. Don't give up, my friend, and hopefully you can have a much better evaluation race next week, because you were looking ever so good. Don't let this hurt your spirits, because you did very well tonight. So, and I think at least, hopefully, you will learn to put more fuel in this car next time Ellery races around Abu Dhabi, of course, because it's an easy mistake to make. But he definitely gave us some good battles to watch out for. So, well done to him tonight, but it's a shame that it ended this way.
Yeah, but obviously, Energetic is an example of a driver that's just trying to find the limit, of course, because the less fuel you have in your car, theoretically, the faster your race should be. So obviously that's what Energetic's tactic was. So it's not exactly a bad tactic, but of course when you start using a bit too much fuel and you don't expect it, and you run out of fuel, or you're under your fuel target, that's when it gets a bit to the nitty-gritty difficult stuff. I'm sure a lot of people have told you, but some people have told me how difficult it is to get saving fuel after you go down to zero. And how much time you lose when you are saving fuel due to the lifting and coasting. And if you're in a battle for a points position, for example, and then you go under the fuel target, then you're screwed for the rest of the race. To be honest, you're probably not going to score points, and even if you were capable to battle, it'd be very difficult to battle and keep that target on target. So really, it's a lose-lose situation if you are down on your fuel target, and of course battling for position.
We're on the final lap of this evaluation race around the Shanghai International Circuit in China. We've seen drama, we've seen spins galore. We've had all of our race leaders, either been Mike and Harry, spinning out. Unfortunately, have had unfortunate incidents as well. They were looking to do well in this race, but unfortunately this turned down, not in their favour. But there's been one driver that hasn't put a foot wrong the whole race. He hasn't had any spins at all, and he's been very, very consistent through this entire race as well. 9.8 seconds is the gap between MCR and Jabo right now. That's how quick he is. And guess what? He is within on the cusp of his tyres dying, which I have to say, he's been doing very well managing his tyres and keeping up the pace like that. He's within 10 seconds of Jabo, and Jabo's on 15 lap tyres, which are a lot newer compared to MCR now. So if MCR is not in either this division or in the division above, I don't know what to say. Someone's gone off. That is a Cloudy Cloud, which I think it was past turn set. I can't remember what turn it is, but let's go on board with MCR. Heading past turn 15 and 16, heading towards the final corner. He's driven amazingly this race. He wins the first evaluation race of the League of Europe Lobby 5. Congratulations to him. But I have to say, story of the night, driver of the day for me has got to go to Jabo after starting lower down on the grid on the alternate strategy. Paid off for him, and he's up into P2 of this race. Slum Khan is in third. Another great play for him. He was also on the alternate strategy. So the alternate strategy is working wonders for here. Major Falcon, fourth position. And I think we'll just wait for Bagger Bones across the line. He could go fastest lap. I don't think he is because he got 3-second time penalty. Fifth place, Cloudy Cloud comes across the line in sixth. Fast lap at the moment belongs to Bosnia. And I think he's going to keep that because Jordan is on the hard compounded tyres. So he is probably going to push even more to probably potentially get into the 132s. I believe Bosnia could have been higher if he didn't have any more spins. So what could have been for him? But he comes across the line. Could he get higher than the 133.2? He stays with a 133.2 for now. So I think we're just waiting for Jordan as DJ Williamson's AI is a lap down. So 8 finishes in Lobby 5, but wow, what a race. And MCR is your race winner. One of the only drivers to not make a mistake tonight.
Yeah, of course, and you know that he's had a clear race ahead of him. There's no spins, no anything really for him, and you know, as you said, driver of the day, I agree with you. Jabo deserves it. Got P2, and you know, similar to MCR, just drove his own race. Didn't have any troubles. Didn't have any much to do or anything. He just enjoyed his race and made up the moves where he can, and you know, just kept it clean. And you know, I think obviously a lot of drivers here tonight, maybe not of their own fault for spinning, of course. I think some of them may need to learn a little bit to be a bit more conservative with the throttle pedal a little bit, because that may have been the main reason to them costing. But I mean, a lot of people have talked about this game already. They've talked about how the curbs and everything, they could be so random sometimes. Sometimes you could do them the way you have done previous laps and just a completely different outcome, like spinning, for example. So yeah, a little bit of an interesting race, of course, and you know, it is a bit disappointing to see so many DNFs, but this track has obviously just shown to be such a challenge for this game. But also in some places it does seem like probably is a bit too much for some of these drivers, and that's not a dig at any of the drivers, but I do think this track needs to have a bit of a fix, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I think Belgium is another one of those tracks as well. So before we wrap up the stream, let's go through your results. We've got MCR that wins from Jabo, Slumcom, Major Falcon, Cloudy Cloud, Bag of Bones, United Bosnia and Jordan are your finishes. And your retirements are DJ Williamson, Energetic, Jasper, Slayer, Ivan Mike, Marty, Jamie, Jab, Joseph and our pole sitter, Harry, which was a bit of a shame there as well. And if this race is anything to go by, I think we're very much looking forward to the season ahead there as well. Plenty of drivers that retired that could have been on for a race victory. But yeah, I agree. There's certain corners where it's happened to me, I think, in many other tracks on this game. There's some corners I can take fine one lap, but if I take it the same way another lap, I just end up spinning. So hopefully it doesn't happen next week where we head to Abu Dhabi, of course. Obviously, since I'm reserved, I'm not going to be commentating next week. It could be, I think J. Cole could be back next week, or it may be somebody else in the commentary box, but it's been an absolute pleasure filling in for 1 week only. Who knows, you may see me on another race this game, but you will see Sam in the commentary box next week, and it's been an absolute pleasure joining you in the commentary box again. It's been a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a long time since I did some comments with you, Jess, but you know, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and you know, why shouldn't I thoroughly enjoy it? The action was good, obviously a lot of spinners, but you know, at the end of the day, a lot of shocking surprises. Obviously the race winner MCR may have not been the race winner, and obviously the drama with Slayer crashing out as well. But you know, there's been some good battles here tonight, and I think there is some promise going on in terms of the driver's ability and the driver's ability to obviously overtake as well. And a lot of these drivers did show a lot of potential, and you know, there are obviously some people you could turn around and, you know, say were very unfortunate tonight. Obviously, Harry and Ivor Bryn Mike, of course, the two main ones, I would say. Dominant, didn't they? Both of them, when they were in the lead of their races. And, you know, obviously simple little mistakes and everything can cost you the entire race. And it will send out a message to these drivers, and it probably will send out a message to a few others as well. You know, you just mustn't be complacent at the front. If you're complacent at the front and everything, anything can happen. That's exactly what you've got to take out of this. And you know, obviously Mike and Harry now know that just because they're in the lead doesn't exactly mean this game is going to be nice to them. And obviously the spin probably wasn't what they wanted.
Nope, it wasn't. Hopefully they'll have a better race next week. So we're going to wrap things up as well. If you want to check out the other lobbies tonight from lobby 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6, make sure you check them out after at the end of this stream. Links will be on the channel as well. Make sure you do subscribe, turn notifications on and smash that thumbs up button. You can also follow the League of Europe account on Twitter using the Twitter handle at League of Europe. You can also follow me on Twitter if you want to, at JessGames95 is my Twitter handle. And you can also follow Sam's Twitter using the Twitter handle at VSR_Sam. So if you want to follow us, much appreciated. But obviously follow the League of Europe account. That is more important. So we will see you next time for the next evaluation race around Abu Dhabi, I believe is the next one. So we'll see how the drivers fare next week compared to this week. So for myself and Sam, we will League of Europe, we'll see you next time for some more F1 2021 action. Have a good evening and goodbye.